Hey, if you notice that you tend to quit everything you start, I would be willing to bet that it's because you've been doing things for the wrong reasons. And in this video, I'm about to tell you the secret to becoming more disciplined so you can start making more progress on your biggest goals. But before we do that, it's important that you understand exactly why you've been quitting everything you start in the first place. So the best way you can understand why you keep quitting everything you start is to think back to a time when you felt motivated to actually follow through with something. Now, if you like most people, then more than likely the time that you felt the most motivated to continue something is when you had other people to be accountable to. For example, if you played sports, then you had a coach and you had teammates. At school, you had teachers, you had the principal. In everyday life, you had your parents, and then as adults, you might have a significant other or you got kids. But regardless of the specific situation, you had somebody else that you had to be accountable to. And so as long as you did what you were supposed to do, you either got some type of reward or some type of positive outcome, or at the very least, you was able to avoid some type of punishment or some type of negative outcome. And as we already know, human beings are biologically wired to do more things that get us good results and less things that get us bad results, if those good and bad results are something we actually care about. So if we bring that back to this situation, the reason you keep quitting stuff is that you don't have a good enough reward or a bad enough punishment to keep doing it. So then when we take that into consideration and think about how you can stop quitting everything you start, you might think that the obvious answer is just to set up more rewards and punishments for yourself. And as easy as that may sound, unfortunately, it's not that simple, for the simple fact that if you think back to those times when you did feel the most motivated, it wasn't only the fact that you had rewards and punishments to motivate you, but the key piece was that you had external rewards and punishments, meaning the rewards and punishments would have came from somebody or something outside yourself. And that is precisely where we run into the big problem. The big problem with only being able to be motivated by external rewards and punishments is that when you don't have any in place, as you can see, it's very hard to keep yourself motivated. Because the thing about external rewards is that you tend to get addicted to the praise that you get from other people. Instead of you paying attention to how you feel when you do something, you pay more attention to what other people will say about how you did it or how good you did. And unfortunately, it's almost impossible to stay motivated when you think that way. So the real question we need to ask to figure out how you can stop quitting everything you start is, what can you do that you will actually enjoy and not care what other people think about it? And the reason that the answer to that question is so important is because you have two types of motivation. The first one is called intrinsic motivation. And intrinsic motivation is just when you do something because you enjoy doing it. You enjoy the process, you enjoy the way it make you feel, you do it completely for yourself. The second type of motivation is called extrinsic motivation, and that's what we've been talking about, which is when you do something to get an external reward or to avoid an external punishment. And unfortunately, when you only rely on extrinsic motivation, somebody else gets to set the standards and make the rules that you have to play by. And that's exactly why extrinsic motivation is not enough to keep you going. Because in order for you to stay motivated over a long period of time, you have to feel like you are in control of your behavior. And with intrinsic motivation, you are in control. With intrinsic motivation, it's all about how you feel about doing something and what it does for you personally. You simply do it because you want to do it. And when you do something because you want to do it, it's very easy to keep going with it. And so the solution is very simple. Nike says, just do it. I say, just do it for you. Instead of doing it for money, likes and comments, or even just to be seen a certain way, just focus on enjoying the process and constantly getting better and better. Because if you really want to be able to take consistent action towards your dreams and goals, you have to be confident in your ability to take action in the first place. And you don't need an external reward for that, because getting better at something you genuinely like doing is the reward. But with all that being said, I do have to warn you that motivation goes up and down, whether it's intrinsic or extrinsic. And the reality is, you do need a little bit of both to be successful. So once you find something that you genuinely enjoy and you will do it regardless of what anybody else think, it still might be a good idea to set up some rewards and punishments for yourself. But most importantly, when you run into those moments where you still feel like quitting, you have to understand that mind management is key. So anytime you feel like quitting, My suggestion is to journal about what you're thinking. That way you can identify the specific thoughts that are giving you trouble, and then just simply reframe those negative thoughts as positive thoughts. Now, with that said, if you don't like to write a lot, bullet points will work just fine in that situation. And matter of fact, I actually have a journaling template that's linked in the description, so feel free to try that out. And just remember that if you want to stop quitting everything you start, you need to just find something that you genuinely enjoy. That way you'll do it when you don't get the rewards that you're looking for. Now, with that being said, the final thing that I want to warn you about that can cause you to quit everything you start is something called all or nothing thinking. Now, all or nothing thinking is a type of cognitive distortion that basically distorts the way that you see reality. If you want to learn more about all or nothing thinking, as well as a few other cognitive distortions that can hold you back, I highly recommend you check out this next video. Like this video if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and then I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace.